Squid Game was brutal, but some players didn't just play to win. They cheated death, literally. Squid Game was created to test desperation, survival instincts, and morality under pressure. But not every player faced the games with fairness in mind. While most relied on luck, skill, or alliances, a handful bent the rules, and some broke them entirely. Across both seasons, at least 7 contestants found ways to cheat the system, whether through manipulation, violence, deception, or even inside access to game secrets. But did any of them truly get away with it? Number 7. Player 111, Byonggi, the Inside Man. Byonggi wasn't just a cheater, he was deeply embedded in the game itself. Unlike the rest of the contestants who were thrown into a deadly game of chance and survival, Byonggi had something much more powerful than luck: information. A surgeon before entering the game, Byonggi secretly collaborated with corrupt guards in an illicit organ harvesting operation. In exchange for his surgical skills, the guards fed him inside knowledge about upcoming games. This gave him a huge advantage, allowing him to prepare in advance and breeze through the early rounds. However, Squid Game was never meant to reward cheaters. When the frontman realized the operation was spiraling out of control, he shut it down and made an example out of everyone involved. Byonggi and the complicit guards were executed, their bodies disposed of like the victims they had been harvesting organs from. His advantage gave him temporary power, but it also sealed his fate. Number 6. Jung Deok-soo, the gangster who ruled by force. Deok-soo didn't have insider help. What he had instead was brute strength and a willingness to do whatever it took to survive. A former gangster, he relied on intimidation rather than intelligence. His most infamous moment came on the first night in the dorms. With the guards intentionally absent, chaos broke out, and Deok-soo led a violent attack, killing multiple players while they slept. Technically, it wasn't against the rules. In fact, the game was designed to allow such chaos to thin out the competition. Still, many argue that using physical violence outside of the official challenges was a form of cheating, twisting the rules to gain an advantage. But his worst moment came during the Glass Bridge challenge. Refusing to move forward, he manipulated others into testing the panels before him, using threats to keep himself alive. Again, he wasn't disqualified, but he twisted the game's intent for personal gain. Eventually, his tactics caught up with him. Han Min-yo, a player he had betrayed, took revenge by pulling him down with her to their deaths. Poetic justice for a man who had relied on fear and cruelty to stay alive. Number 5. Han Min-yo, the Master Manipulator. Han Min-yo didn't have strength or secrets, but she did have cunning. From the beginning, she made it clear she would use any means necessary to survive, manipulating alliances, faking loyalty, and even smuggling in contraband. Her first major act of cheating came during the Dalgona game, where she used a lighter hidden in her clothing to melt the honeycomb shape, making it easier to carve. While others sweated and cracked under pressure, she passed effortlessly. But Minyo's true weapon wasn't the lighter, it was psychological manipulation. She aligned herself with Deok-soo, seducing him for protection. But when he no longer served her needs, she turned on him. Her final act, grabbing Deok-soo and pulling them both off the glass bridge, wasn't technically cheating, but it was a lethal form of justice. In the end, she used his own tactics against him and made sure they both paid the price. Number 4. Cho Sang-woo, the smartest betrayer. Sang-woo wasn't forced into the game, he chose it, entering after destroying his life through embezzlement and debt. He had the intelligence to win fairly, but he didn't hesitate to cheat when it suited him. His most heart-wrenching betrayal came during the marbles game. Paired with Ali, a kind-hearted player who trusted him completely, Sang-woo realized he couldn't win through skill alone. So he lied. He convinced Ali that they could both survive if they worked together, suggesting they create a trick to outsmart the guards. Then, he swapped Ali's marbles with rocks, handing him a bag full of false hope. When the round ended, Ali was executed, unaware he'd been betrayed by the only person he trusted. It was a defining moment that showed just how far Sang-woo would go to survive. But in the end, even he couldn't escape judgment. In the final game, with no more tricks left, Sang-woo faced Gi-hoon. Realizing what he had become, he took his own life, his final act a mix of guilt and surrender. Number 3. Oh Il-nam, the Puppet Master. From the beginning, Oh Il-nam seemed like an odd addition to the game, an elderly, frail man who somehow managed to survive every challenge. He picked the perfect shape in the Dalgona game, used precise tactics in tug-of-war, and wandered the marble round with strange confidence. Eventually, the truth was revealed. Il-nam wasn't just a player. He was the creator of Squid Game, the mastermind who had rigged the competition from the start. He joined the game for entertainment, curious to feel the thrill of life and death again. Unlike everyone else, he was never in danger. His elimination during the marbles game was staged, off-screen with no body. While others died in brutal, graphic fashion, Il-nam simply disappeared. He didn't cheat in the traditional sense. He didn't manipulate players or bring weapons. Instead, he designed the entire system, and when he got bored, he walked away. That level of control made his version of cheating more insidious than any other. Number 2. Hwang In-ho, the frontman in disguise. By Season 2, Squid Game introduced a new kind of cheater, one from within the system itself. Hwang In-ho, the frontman, wasn't just overseeing the games, he actually disguised himself as a contestant to infiltrate a brewing rebellion. Unlike the others risking their lives in each challenge, In-ho already knew everything: the upcoming games, strategies that worked, and who posed a threat. As a mole among players, he was practically untouchable. His presence gave the organizers complete control from the inside, while the players had no idea one of their own was a spy. In-ho's deception didn't lead to his downfall like the others. By the end of Season 2, he was still standing, still in power. His success wasn't about survival, it was about control. Number 1. Thano, chaos through manipulation. The final cheater on this list played the psychological game better than most. Thano didn't rely on alliances or skill. Instead, he weaponized chaos. From the start, he embraced disorder. During the dormitory massacre, he aligned himself with whoever was winning, switching sides and using drugs to keep himself sharp and unpredictable. His strength came from exploiting fear and confusion, never letting anyone see his next move. But like all manipulators, his tactics had limits. Eventually, the other players saw through his games. The same paranoia he used to survive turned against him. Isolated and no longer useful, he met a brutal end inside the player quarters. Eliminated not by a game, but by the system he tried to control. In Squid Game, cheating takes many forms: violence, betrayal, manipulation, insider knowledge. Some players cheated to survive, others for control, and a few simply because they could. But the game has a way of correcting itself. No matter how smart or ruthless a cheater might be, there's always a cost. Only one winner walks away in the end. And for most who tried to break the rules, the price of cheating was paid in blood. So, who do you think was the worst cheater? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell for more deep dives into your favorite shows. See you in the next round.